Alright, we're all set up between centers here on a spur drive, and actually it's about 17 inches, so we'll get this trued up and we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. So getting this blank trued up was no big deal, really straightforward other than it's dry wood. I prefer to turn green wood, but anyway, yeah, like I say, it's a really straightforward turn, just a lot of dust, and that's about it. Alright, almost. Just a little bit more, and then we'll true up the top. You got some tear out going on in there. It's interesting grain. You got some chatoyancy happening there in areas, and a lot of tear out. So as you probably guessed, this is a really dry piece of wood. So, all right, finish truing this up, and then we'll true up the top. So I just wanted to see if I did a little shear scraping, if that would work on the punky areas, and I think it will. Yeah, most of that should come out no problem. Okay, let's I'll get you set up, and we'll true the top up. And just like truing up the rest of this this blank, the top is pretty straightforward too. No checking going on this piece. There were no cracks, big cracks to deal with or anything. So just a pretty straightforward turn. Alright, I'm going to get a spigot on here. I'm thinking about making this like a wide rim fluted bowl. So we'll get a spigot on here and see what it looks like. I had originally planned on using my big Vicmark VM150 jaws on there, the 198 millimeter jaw set, and having a really nice wide spigot or bottom for this size of bowl. But because I'm going to do it fluted shape with a wide rim, I decided to go with my one-way number 6 jaws and on my stronghold chuck. And otherwise, I think it would have been the base would have been so wide it wouldn't have fluted out very nice, and it would have looked really bulky. But anyway, it was that's just a design thought that I was going through, and it's really, when I get it to shape in this thing, it really shaped up easily. It was actually, it shaped up easier than I thought it would, because it was so dry. And then all that punky area that I was dealing with when I trued it up, all pretty much went away. So pretty straightforward stuff. Alright, we'll get this thing turned around and start hollowing it out. It's not deep enough to core. It's just under 3 inches, so anyway, I kind of like the shape of that. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, so I want this to be about 3/8 inches or so thick, so we need to come off maybe just a little bit more. We just need to take a little off here on this outer portion of the rim, and then we'll just carefully start working our way down and leave as much mass in here as possible as we work our way down. And that'll help with vibration. Yeah, so I was originally thinking, oh, I'd have to use my one-way bowl steady, but I figure if I leave enough mass in the center as I turn this thing down, hopefully I won't have to use it. Not that it's a big deal. It's just something else, another tool I have to drag out to use. But working this rim, getting this portion right, especially in the transition area, was really the hardest part of this turn, if you can consider that hard. It's just a matter of being careful and taking my time to do it. So I work it on down. I ended up being just slightly over 3/8 inch thick, and I kind of like that thickness for this size of the bowl. 3/8 would have been fine. I think 7/16 probably would have been fine too. So kind of like right in between there is where I ended up. And so anyway, working down through here, it was really just being careful, little by little, working my way down, and it was I really didn't run into any major issues. The wood was a little bit difficult in some areas, working against the grain and while I was turning it, but nothing major. This is another area that I always have a problem with, transitioning at the bottom. I always have a tendency to make it too thin, so I'm really taking my time here and working through it little by little. Because you work, so many times I've worked so hard to make the rim and the wall thickness right, and gotten down to the transition area in the bottom, and gotten it too thin, and had to back up to get everything evened out, and end up with a thinner bowl than I wanted, and that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's just one of those things, and it's like doing the bottom of the bowls. I always have a tendency to leave them thicker. That way, I've got room to true it up. When I'm done, or when I go to finish and sand it and everything, I got room to work. But that's usually turning green wood. So when I'm turning, seasoned wood like this, then really all I need to do is just make sure I get it right. And so I took my time and worked this bottom really well, so that it's just ready to finish when we're done, ready to start sanding. So anyway, we're about done here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Well, this bowl is done, at least as far as the turning is concerned. I don't have it's obviously dried, and I can sand and finish it. I'll be doing that probably sometime this week or two, and but I won't be sanding and finishing it today. But the turning's done, so let's take it off of here and see what it looks like. Alright, I get this place cleaned up. I have a few words in just a minute.